It's strongly being suggested the Eagles should trade for Kyle Pitts. Dallas still stinks. By the way, Dingbat here, one of the names that we hear the most about in terms of the Eagles making a trade is Kyle Pitts, the tight end of the Atlanta Falcons. This is one of those rumors that always comes up with him connected to Philly. The question is why? And why would the Eagles want to do it? I mean, to me, the Eagles made the right decision in bringing back Dallas Goedert this year for one more year. It was an important move, it was the right move, and it was a smart move. And because of that, do the Eagles really want to go out and get Kyle Pitts? Now, I'll say this. What they're going to be asking for Kyle Pitts is probably a mid-rounder. I'm thinking 4th, 5th round pick. The Eagles have plenty of those to take a chance on a talent like Kyle Pitts. That is for sure. The question is he a good fit for the Eagles? We don't know. Now, as you can see in my background, I am away. I was trying to show pictures of the beach earlier, but it's too sunny out, so I had to put this background out so you could actually see me. But we'll be here a few more days, and I figured I'd put a couple videos out while I'm gone. And then early July, I'll probably take the first couple days of July off too, as I'm just getting back. But I did want to put this out. I did kind of want to talk about this because I thought this was just funny reading it this morning. I did. NFL rumors. Eagles named interesting trade destination for Kyle Pitts. How many times has this happened? Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles have a lot of weapons, and they could add to it. Name being interesting trade destination name Kyle Pitts. Blah 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 blah. It says since then. Pitts hasn't topped the 60 mark in receptions. He also hasn't gotten 300 of 221 yardage totals. One interesting stat is his touchdowns have gone up 1 each season. So he ain't done crap, let's face it. I mean, the guy ain't done crap. To me, why do you want to go out and get Kyle Pitts? Okay, here's the thing. I think in today's NFL, if you have a guy like Kyle Pitts, he comes in, most likely the Eagles are going to throw the ball. He goes out, that they're not. What Dallas Goedert, what makes Dallas Goedert so good, what I like about Dallas Goedert, and what I think is what you need in a tight end, is you need a tight end that can block and that can receive, okay? I don't even think he has to be the greatest receiver, but he's got to be capable of receiving. What makes Dallas Goedert so valuable to the Philadelphia Eagles is the fact that Dallas Goedert can actually go out there and Dallas Goedert can catch and he can block. So you put him out there on offense, you don't give away that you're throwing the ball or give away that you're running the ball. He can do both. It keeps the defenses guessing. I think having a guy like Kyle Pitts come out there and basically be your tight end, well, when he's out there, you're probably passing. He's not the greatest run blocker. So, I don't know. I don't know how excited I am about getting Kyle Pitts. Now, as number 2, similar to a Grant Calcaterra, yeah, probably I see him the same way. He definitely hasn't lived up to the hype. I thought he was going to be a lot better, but it just hasn't turned out. And I think a lot of the reasons why Kyle Pitts is always connected to the Eagles is obviously because he's a local boy. That's to me the only reason, because he's local. He grew up in Philly, and everybody think it would be great. We all love the homecoming story, but I don't know that it's worth it. I think the Eagles are almost better off either trading for a bigger tight end or drafting one next year and just going with what you have this year. I don't think that's a bad idea either. But going out there and trading for Kyle Pitts, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. At the same time, because I said that, they'll probably do it now, and then he'll probably be great. Because that's always the way it goes. Let's face it. But no, in all seriousness, I don't see the Eagles doing this trade. I don't think they would want to do this trade. Okay. There's also reports that we're getting that the Eagles should be interested in going after Tyler Boyd. Now, Tyler Boyd, look, he's had some good seasons. He's been a decent wide receiver, but I gotta tell you, I'm not so sure that I need Tyler Boyd. I like Jahan Dotson. I think Jahan Dotson, with another year to sit there and to play and be with the organization, learn, gain the trust of Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to have a bigger year. Excuse me. The beach is wearing me out. It's wearing me out. It's been crazy. It was so hot during the week. Like, nobody could go on the beach. I've never seen it like that here on the East Coast. So hot, the beach was burnt. The sand was burning. You couldn't even go on the beach. It was that hot. Today's not as bad, but yeah, it's wearing me out. But anyways, so a lot of talk about getting Boyd, bringing him in to the Eagles, and let him be the third receiver. I think Jahan Dotson's the way to go. I think Jahan Dotson can be good enough, and I think the Eagles, they just need to stick with him. The truth of the matter is, we could talk about players. We bring it up because this time of year, there's not a lot going on. We're just waiting for training camp to start. We're looking for things to discuss, to think about, possible scenarios that could be interesting. To me, going out and getting another wide receiver is not interesting. I don't think they need to do it. I like what we got. I like what we have just fine. Like I said in yesterday's video, I would be more interested in getting and adding another running back for depth than I would a wide receiver. Okay, I would not mind a second tight end though. If you could get a second tight end, somebody who could be decent, yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. If you got Kyle Pitts, he could help you in the passing game, but would you re-sign him? I don't think so. I don't think you would I don't see him as your tight end of the future. He's just not big enough. You need a guy like Dallas Goedert. Now Dallas Goedert's older, so he's probably going to play one more year, but then that's it. But this team, they don't really need anything. Everything right now for the Eagles is a luxury. It's a luxury. Running backs, you got running backs. Offensive line, you got offensive line. Wide receivers, you got wide receivers. Tight end, you got a great starting tight end. Defensive line, you got multiple depth at defensive line. PFF calling the Eagles linebacking core one of the deepest in the league. Secondary, you got guys like Quintanamo, Bay, and Cooper DeJean. You got studs all over the place. So to me, I don't think the Eagles necessarily need to make a move right now. However, when you get into camp, and let's say you start seeing how Ringo looks, and you start seeing how Makuba looks, this is when you make a trade. You don't make a trade, you don't do anything before this preseason. You do it once you get into camp and you know what you're missing. If you're not getting what you like out of, let's say, Makuba, right, then maybe you consider bringing in Justin Simmons for the year. Maybe you don't like what you're seeing with Ringo. Well, you go out and you try to find yourself another corner. Excuse me. You could do that too. So you have options. It's just a matter of figuring out what it's going to be. But this team does not have to make any moves to win this whole thing over again. The Eagles are the best team in the league, and the reason is this: nobody can match them. Nobody is built to beat them. Teams are not built that way. And when you're not built that way, I don't care if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care if you're the Detroit Lions. If you're not built to beat us, you're not going to beat us. That's just the thing. And I don't think the league is ready for the Eagles again this year. I think by next year you're going to see way more adjustments. But let's look at you look at the schedule. You go, oh, look at the hard schedule the Eagles have. But the truth of the matter is, which one of those teams is going to be deadliest stopping the run? Not many on that schedule. The Eagles, matchup-wise, nobody can stop them. Defenses build their defense around getting to the quarterback and to stop the passing game. Not many of them are built to win against teams that run the ball, and that's what the Eagles do so good. So yes, I think. Well, wait a second. I think I saw a statistic. It was the Eagles. Saquon Barkley doesn't get hit until 2 yards downfield on average. Okay, on average, the Eagles were 2 yards before their running backs get hit. That means a running back gets the ball, he gets at least 2 yards before anybody makes any contact on him. The rest of the league, the average was 1.1 yards. That's a huge difference. If you're getting 2 yards a carry before somebody hits you, you're most likely getting 4 or 5 yards a carry at minimum. at minimum. So make no mistake, this team doesn't have to do anything. But if they choose to, would a guy like Kyle Pitts be the guy? I'm thinking most likely not it. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how I vision. We're all just living in it. I'm going on vacation. I make a turn. Where the hell am I? I have no idea where I'm at. But that house right there, I don't know. It looks awfully familiar. It looks real familiar. Does anybody know where this house is? That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us!